He tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants.
Here we go, guys. Another big streamer fucking up his life by basically fucking sexually abusing anyone they want. So fucking stupid. But Emiru explains it here a little better.
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing.
I ain't gonna lie, Mizkif looks like a police sketch of a R-wordist. Honestly, I've always thought this dude gives off like those creepy vibes. Never liked watching any kind of his content. He just looks like a creepy dude.
For the entirety of this year, I've attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now?
I mean, it's about time some of these guys get exposed because, honestly, most of these guys run around and do whatever the fuck they want, and they expect no one to say nothing because they have clout. Well, I kind of imagine or feel like if I was working at a warehouse or a fucking restaurant and the manager was doing this to the workers and the workers not wanting to say nothing to not lose their job. No, if something like that happened, most likely instantly they would be put on blast. But since these guys are all famous, it kind of seems like everyone keeps everything hush-hush with, what are they called, the NDAs or whatever the fuck. Yeah, no, some of these people just get away with a lot, and no need to explain yourself why you're doing it. You're doing it because you're fed up. You probably don't like looking at the idiot's fucking face everywhere on the internet, hee-hee-ha-ha, having the fucking time of his life, knowing he fucking sexually assaulted random-ass people, and you. Like, he probably was more than just you, but right now, yeah, he came out with it, and he deserves whatever's coming his way, really.
Who were around us a lot when we lived together and asked if they would basically back him up, and they refused. Obviously, they're not insane. And even something happened this weekend at TwitchCon. One of my employees told me he went up to them and he threatened them, saying, if Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her. Whatever that means. And within the same night, he also texted one of my best friends, and he would have known that I would have been with this girl. He texted her saying, hey, worried about her, hope she's okay. You know, right after he just said to my employee and other people that he was gonna try to destroy my life. Yeah, all in the same night. And, yeah, that was Saturday, so that pretty much leads us to today. I feel like it's clear I've spent the last year of my life cutting him off and building a new life with people that actually care about me and doing my best to move on peacefully without causing any drama. I did not want to do this.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked. He's basically trying to manipulate the people around you to kind of already cover his ass. It doesn't look good for him right now. Especially now that you came out with this, everyone's gonna be like, ah, okay, that's why you was saying all that dumb shit.
He would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah.
Accident or not, you gotta think about it. I don't think you want to have a friend or a fucking coworker that throws shit at you and causes you to be uncomfortable and have black eyes. But I don't know really where you got your start. Maybe you were getting some clout from him and that's why you were putting up with his bullshit. And in any 9 to 5, you're gonna put up with someone's bullshit to keep your job until you move on to the next spot. Same thing with if you have a career. Sometimes, like artists, especially teachers, like in college and shit, you put up with a lot of their bullshit because you got something that you can take away from them, right? But when it gets to a point to where they're fucking abusing you sexually and physically, no matter who the fuck it is, you gotta leave, you know? You can't endure that shit because later on in life, you won't be able to forgive yourself for being like, fuck, man, like, I really let that shit happen. That'll sit with you more than you actually know.
So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And, instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go. And he immediately left my house while I was still crying without, checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us.
I say fuck the other streamers, and maybe you should just stay focused on what's ahead. Probably get a little backlash from his community, the internet itself. Just brace yourself for all that shit. Just keep on keeping on, and things are gonna work out.